Yes. What's up, people? Happy holidays. Welcome to another Eat More Veggies. We have to start with a banger. You know what I mean? Because it's the holiday and, life is good, right? We're here. We're alive. We're watching Kitsch. We're on Kitsch. You know, we're getting some inspo and all that good stuff. Yeah. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm on here. I'm on here. I am on here, right? If you eat all the mac and cheese, we won't have any to take to mom's house.
Sorry.
Wow.
I just thought you'd be distracted to young kids.
Nope, not too distracted to see you eating in my peripheral. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Eat More Veggies. All right, welcome back. Today, I chose to do this time because I figure if there's anyone that's on Kitsch right now and they need some help, then I'm available. So join me at the chef's table. Click on the follow button, all that good stuff. This way, you're in the know, and we can get this party started. All right, I'm gonna get my pan on, nice and hot, and we're gonna have some fun today. All right, so please, for those of you watching, join me at the chef's table. Ask your questions, all that good stuff. It's gonna be a fun time. All right. The recipe is also attached to this stream, so you'll be able to follow through with it as you watch it, and you get everything you need. But let's go over the ingredients. All right. I like to print it out sometimes, so this way I don't miss anything, because sometimes I come up with these recipes and I shock even myself. All right. But let's go over it. I have my beautiful veg stock, vegetable broth, whatever you want to call it. But this broth right here is actually the broth I made earlier on in the week, which is awesome. So we get to use it for this dish, which is great. So if you need a really tasty vegetable stock, then please check out my previous stream for that. We have about 4 tablespoons of butter, and I have about a tablespoon of, maybe a little less, of olive oil. I just wanted to play around with something. We have our flour. All right. We have our Worcestershire L&P sauce, Leon Perkins. We have our aminos. We have our liquid smoke. We have touch of milk, garlic powder, and some homemade sausages, baby. All right. I can't wait to share this recipe with you guys. It's going to be something that you're going to want to keep real close to you, because it allows you to make sausages that just look really, really cool. Right? I mean, it looks like sausages. It is sausages. It's plant-based sausages. All right. Cheers. Yep, that's delicious. So let's jump right in. Initially, when I came up with this recipe, I was like, I'm gonna do just all of the ingredients except for the sausages. But I like what sausages does to my I like what it does to my gravy. Right? So we're gonna put half of our butter in, right, and just a little bit of oil. All right, move this off of the fire, and we're gonna add our sausages. Let's put the vent on, just in case. We don't want no loud noises, you know what I mean? So, okay. So, the idea here is to render your sausages, right? You want to cook them and get them nice and crispy, right? You want to get them really nice and caramelized, because one, that's tons of flavor, and two, because it's going to be in a liquid, don't worry about cooking it crispy. That's going to actually keep it and help it hold together so it doesn't like fall apart completely. You know what I mean? So a nice sear on these, and let them go. I'll add a little bit more of our butter. And the good thing is, this butter that I'm adding is the butter we need to use. So it's not like I'm adding unnecessary or too much butter, right? we let that go, and you see, this is the thing about me, right? As I'm doing stuff, I get these bright ideas, and then I start changing stuff around. And guess what? That's perfectly okay. That's the whole point of cooking, right? Is to have fun in the kitchen, be daring, and when you feel like it, change things up. Like, why is that a problem? The only way it's a problem is if you don't know what you're doing. And sometimes that's okay too, right? But you have to at least have an idea, right? That what you're about to change it up and do is still going to be beneficial. So what I decided to add, which I I guess it must have escaped my mind, but I just crushed up some dried garlic. I'm sorry, dried thyme, and I'm gonna add that to my gravy when I'm ready. So I hope everybody's doing great today. I hope you're relaxing with your family, you're hanging out, you're enjoying the kids if you have them, all that good stuff. My daughter, I just helped her make whoopie pies. They're actually in the refrigerator right now. Let me show them to you. You know, she wanted to do her own thing. So here we go, whoopie pies. I helped her with these, but she did 99% of it. Uh, what else? We got the mac and cheese is already done. My wife made her Nigerian stuff. That's already done. So we're looking really good at this point. Right? We just got maybe two more things to do. And that we're gonna do when we get to grandma, which is my daughter really wants to do guacamole. So we're gonna do that at grandma's house. And we're gonna do the drink there as well. Right? But those are the only two things left to do. Actually, and the last thing is, so the dish my wife made, it's called egusi, and it's we're doing it with spinach. So it's literally melon seeds that you crush up, you cook it down, with some onions, garlic, ginger, all that good stuff, and then we saute spinach with lots of garlic and chilies, add that to it, and it becomes this delicious thing that we eat with a swallow. And a swallow is fufu, some people might call it, or like literally think of mashed potatoes, but firm to the point where you can pick it up with your hands. All right, but it's used with yams instead. So we got our sausages getting nice and brown, getting a little crispy. It's perfect because that's what we want. We're gonna let this go just a little bit more. All right, just a little bit more. At this point, we can add the rest of our butter. And the reason we need this butter and the oil is because we're going to be making some sort of roux, and you can't do a roux without butter and flour, right? So the butter will be nice and melted. But this is something that has to be done in specific steps. Like you have to melt the butter first, then you add the flour. All right. Super, super important. So now I'm going to add about a teaspoon of dried thyme. Right. Yes, Pinky. We need some music, right? Yeah, we need some music. All right. Sausages are ready, right? So next is our flour. Now, with the flour, you want to sprinkle it in. You don't want to just throw. You see, like what I'm doing right now? I'm sprinkling it in, right? Yes. You see? And that's the whole point of this. You don't want to just dump it right in because you're going to end up with this piece of flour that's just kind of stuck together and it's like a big clump. And we don't want that. Also, you want to turn your fire down because you want this to slowly cook, right? You don't want it to seize up on you immediately. All right. So you don't want your flame all the way up. All right. Just enough for it to still keep cooking this. Now what we're doing is we're pretty much kind of creating like wet sand in a way, right? Like the texture of it. So you want to just let your butter and flour cook for like 30 seconds to a minute, just to kind of bring out, you know, that starchy situation. I just wanna use your love tonight. So this, all this we can combine and put into one container since you already know what it is, right? So that's that. All right, our roux is ready. Our sausages, butter, fat is ready. You want to make sure that we flatten it and make sure that there are no clumps of flour. All right, that looks good and it's starting to smell nutty. So now we pour in our stock and that, and then we just kind of do that to rinse it out. All right. We're gonna let this come to a boil, and that's gonna let the magic happen. So while that's coming to a boil, we'll wait to add our milk. Now we can season it, and seasoning is our flavor maker. All right, this is gonna add all the flavor we need. What's in here is a little bit of turmeric, sea salt, black pepper, celery salt. So it's a real nice combination. Make sure I get the edges, get the sides. So I'm gonna turn the flame up all the way up so it can get that initial boil. And then once that happens, then we're gonna turn it all the way down. All right. This is like the quickest, easiest recipe. And trust me, when I tell you it's delicious, you have to make it and see just how delicious it is. Let's check the salt. We'll do a touch more. There we go. Yeah, the consistency is almost there. Now we can add our milk. I like to add the milk because it adds some body. It lightens it up a little bit, makes it real nice and creamy looking. And it just gives you, I mean, you can see it. Based on how it's moving, you can tell the viscosity. Like it's not too thick, it's not too thin, but it's right on the money. Right? So we'll bring this up to a boil really quickly. Yes. Oh yeah, baby. All right, we are done. Just like that. Right? How easy was that? Right? Now you have a delicious gravy with bits, with flavor, just yeah, and you can smell it. It smells awesome. Let me get the rest of that in there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We're done, right? How quick was that? Um, since there are no questions, I'm gonna head out of here so I can continue cooking. Click on the follow button, so this way you are gonna be in the know of all the cool recipes that we're doing, all the demos, all that good stuff. And I wish you an amazing holiday. Remember to be safe, be happy, be healthy, and most importantly, love yourself. All right. Later, everybody.